Hi, Stamper fans. It's Nan Gerlitz, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Bloomington, Illinois, and welcome to another Make It Monday broadcast. I'm here live on my YouTube channel just about every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Time, so I hope you'll continue to join me. Thank you for joining me tonight. If you're catching the replay, I sure appreciate you sticking around for the replay too. My goal every Monday night is to teach you maybe a new trick, show you a new technique, something so that, to better your stamping, right? So better your crafting experience. So I hope you pick up something new tonight. And tonight I have for you this cute little Santa Christmas card. This was actually my husband Russ's entry into our Friday night stamping competition this past weekend. So pretty much every Monday night when I come live, I think it's been 99% of the time, I pull one of our cards that we've made on Friday night, because every Friday night we have a little friendly competition where we each make a card. I post it over on my Facebook page, and then everybody votes. And I tell you Monday who won that vote. And actually, it was my card that won this particular weekend, but I really wanted to showcase this one, and I'll share why in a minute. Excuse me, my throat is a little dry. So if you are not already following me on Facebook, you can follow me at facebook.com/StamperNan. I'm StamperNan pretty much everywhere. And I've also dropped that link in the description, so you can just click on that and follow me over there. And this week I will be showcasing lots of cards made with paper pumpkin supplies. So for those of you that are not familiar with paper pumpkin, let me share. Paper Pumpkin is Stampin' Up's subscription box. So it's basically a monthly crafting box, and it comes with everything pre-designed, pre-cut, pre-scored, everything pretty much pre-done for you. There's usually a little bit of stamping. There's assembly. It comes with adhesive. Really, the only thing you're going to need to add to it is scissors. They even put a Spotify playlist together every month that goes with the kit theme. So like for this particular kit, there was a Christmas themed Spotify playlist. So if you're on Spotify, go search Paper Pumpkin and enjoy those playlists as well. So I'm going to switch the view here. We can get started as I'm chatting with you. So over on my Facebook page this week, I will be sharing cards made with basically the different stamps that you get in your Paper Pumpkin kits. So some of them will be Christmas themed and some of them will be other things, because this goes on all year. So for tonight, I am using the stamp set that came in our October kit, which is the Ho 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 kit. Let me show you those stamps. Super cute stamp set. I absolutely love it. Let me get something so you can see them a little better. There you go. So you've got several greetings, you've got several images, so fun. You've got some like inside and outside greetings. So something kind of for everybody there for Christmas crafting. You can make great gift tags with this stamp set, all sorts of things. So and I will show you the rest of this kit. I have already assembled the cards that actually were here for it. So there was 3 each of 3 different designs. So here's one. Got number 2 here. Super, super cute. And number 3. So these were all basically, everything was just die cut. We punched it out. I did stamp the Santa faces, but all that coloring was already done. These were all punched out, a little bit of stamping there. Those fun iridescent snowflakes, oh my gosh, just so fun. All of that was pre-done, so you just really need to do a little bit of stamping and assembly. When it's a card kit, they always come with matching envelopes, so super fun there too. And there's always some extra stuff, so there was dimensionals left over. You also get a little ink spot. So if you have not collected all of the Stampin' Up! Ink colors, and I know a lot of people have not, this is a great way to collect all those ink colors, because they don't repeat a color in a 12-month period. So I think like all of 2022, each month you'll get a different color. So that's 12 colors that you're going to be accumulating as well as exclusive stamp sets that you can't buy anywhere else. Great, great value in the paper pumpkin kits. So that is the stamp set we will be using tonight. And let me tell you what else we'll be using. As far as inks, I've pulled out our Memento Tuxedo Black because I will be using some blends tonight to color Santa, and our Real Red. And then for our blends, we'll be using Crumb Cake for his face. And we don't actually have the Real Red blend, so we'll be using Poppy Parade because it's a very close match. So it's fine. And then for our cardstock, we're starting out with a base of basic white, the thick basic white. So this is a sturdier card base than our regular basic white, which is perfect for stamping on and layering. So this is 8.5 by 5.5 inches, scored at 4 1/4, which is pretty much every week. That's what my card base is. I'm a simple stamper. Every once in a while we get a little creative, but not much. Then we'll have a layer of Real Red, which is 5 1/4 by 4 inches. We've got a piece of Old Olive, and I think this is just about 3 inches square. I've got another piece of these 2 pieces of basic white. So this one just needs to be like 3 inches square. It's a little bit bigger. That's the piece I had. And then this piece for our tag, I've cut it to be 1.5 by 4. So that'll be big enough for our tag. So that's all of our cardstock. Then we will be using the Big Boss, the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. Wow. To do some die cutting and embossing. So with that, we'll be using our brick and mortar embossing folder, which is one of my absolute favorites. If you've seen a couple of samples of ours, you'll know that we reach for this one a lot. It's very versatile. Also, our tailor-made tags for that fun tag, and our layering circles for Santa. Then we've got a bit of ribbon. So we're using our crinkled seam binding ribbon. And yes, this is all we have left of it. So good thing, because I'm going to get one more bow out of this, I think, and that's it. So we'll have to reorder some of that because that's been a popular one. Also dimensionals. So I'll be using the ones left over from the kit, although we do have more. We also will be using our Wink of Stella glitter brush. If you noticed here on some of those bricks, they're a little shiny and shimmery. We've just put Wink of Stella on that. That's it. And then I also actually pulled out my Stampin' Block from my paper pumpkin kit. It actually, I think, I thought it said paper pumpkin, but this one doesn't. I have a couple of them. So this is the same size as our size D acrylic block, but as you can tell, if you've noticed my blocks before, this one is thinner. It doesn't have that groove, but in your very first paper pumpkin kit, if you are not already a subscriber, they will include this block, and all of the stamp sets that are ever in paper pumpkin will not be bigger than this block. So you might have to turn it diagonally, but all of the stamps will always fit on this size block. So if you just keep it where you stamp, you'll always have the right size block for all your stamps. So that's another great advantage, that if you don't have a lot of space, or if you don't have a lot of disposable income for a stamping hobby, you can simply get the paper pumpkin kit every month. You've got one block. You're going to get some ink pads that are small, so you can just keep them in one of the boxes. You'll start accumulating some nice thin stamp sets. So, and you'll have something to kind of make out all year. You just need to grab some cardstock, maybe ribbon or embellishments for future crafting, and you'll be good to go. All right. So I think that's everything we're going to need. Let us get started. Oh, and I will be tying that bow with fork tonight. So we'll do that technique again for those of you that need to see it again or haven't seen it at all. You'll really like it. Trust me. Let's go ahead and stamp our Santa and our ho, ho, ho. All right, so Santa is going to get stamped in our black Memento ink. We'll just peel him off. Perfect. Love it. Again, you might want to grab a Stampin' Chamois if you don't have any supplies yet, if you're new to stamping, but you can always use a baby wipe or something like that. Just make sure you get the alcohol-free ones because you don't want to deteriorate your stamps. And you can add the chamois at some other point down the road. All right, let's grab our ho, ho, ho. Now I will say, I don't know if you noticed when I showed you the close-up, but we had a little stamp-tastrophe. I was eating cantaloupe in the stamp room and my cards were out and I knocked over the darn container full of cantaloupe juice. Things happen, people. Things happen. So I might have to redo that tag so we can use it for Christmas still. But otherwise, it was unharmed. Thank goodness. My penguin card, however, is a little wrinkly. So, okay. So, ho, ho, ho. There we go. So it was very cute. We had the grandkids over for a little while yesterday. The oldest, who is 5.5, as he will now tell you, he had a birthday party for a classmate to go to. So his middle brother, James, was staying with us for a couple of hours while Mom took Jeffrey to the birthday party. And right after they left, James informed me that he went to go stamp. Now, James never asks to come and stamp. That's always Jeffrey that wants to come down and stamp. So that was pretty exciting for me. And he didn't stay down here long, which was fine. But he wanted to stamp his name, and then he wanted to use the punch. He wanted to use the punch. So I have the Alphabest bundle, and I got the letters out, and then I got the little punch that comes with the bundle out, and he just had such a blast squeezing that punch, and it was a small one, and so they would pop out and fly at him, and he just would giggle, and it was very funny. So we just did a couple of names, and then he was done. He wanted to go back upstairs, but we're getting him. He's getting the hang of it. I'm just going to add a couple of stars to the inside of this card. Nice. I've seen so many cool ideas with this card, and I do have actually another card to show you using this same stamp set when I'm done tonight. So make sure you stick around to the end so you can see that. Okay, all of our stamping is done. Put that aside. Okay, let's do some coloring in. So I'm just going to use the light crumb cake. Now, once again, I don't have them over here, but we do have an entire series of skin tone markers from very light all the way to very dark. There's 10 different shades in there, so those are great for this kind of application. So, but crumb cake will also do just fine. Actually, it looks like this one's drying out a little bit. There we go. The bullet tip is just fine. We use crumb cake an awful lot, I think, so we're going to have to replace that pretty soon. All right. Which one's my dark? There we go. So we'll take our dark Poppy Parade, and I'm just going to go around kind of some of these edges. Give it a little shading. And a little bit on his nose because he's got a cherry red nose, right? Because he's been out in the cold all night. All right, and then we'll take our light Poppy Parade, and I'm going to go over that to blend those dark lines in. Because I don't want them to be all harsh and straight. I want them to be nice and blended. And as it dries, you'll get more definition, but it gives a little bit of a, you see it on Russ's, because this one's already dry. Just a little bit of definition there, a little bit of shading. That's always nice. All right, let's get these guys out of the way. Let's do some die cutting and embossing. Okay, I'll do the die cutting first because those are the plates I have in front of me. Okay. So layering circles, I have to figure out which size he used. He used both of the scallops instead of a straight one this time. So it looks like this size probably. Yep, that's for inside. So that one's probably, yep, there we go. So Santa's face in that one. And since I've got so many things going on, I'm going to tape them down. Normally I really wouldn't on that, but just in case. So I think I can get all three of these guys on at once. Now we need our tags. I'm going to bet because this one's got some white in it. Yep. See, telltale sign, there was a little bit of white left in that hole, so I knew that was the size he used. All right, and once again, I'm going to tape that one down just to make sure. Okay, put our top plate on. Okay, so there we got our Santa. And our olive layer. And our tag. Love these tags with the stitching around the edges. So, so fun and so nice to make your Christmas tags or obviously cards. We use them a lot for cards. Now we're going to take off these two layers and we're going to do our embossing on our real red. So with our brick and mortar folder, because it's got straight lines, I get pretty particular, let's say, about how I line it up. Normally, if it was just an all over pattern like, you know, our painted texture or even the ferns, it's a very scattered pattern. It doesn't matter. But whenever it's something that's, you know, like got lines in it, I want to make sure that I've got that cardstock straight against just one of the mortar lines, basically. Then I'll squeeze it to keep it in place. We put the hinge side in first and our number 4 plate on top and run it through. And voila. Absolutely love it. I love that some of the bricks are raised more than the others, but you get a lot of good texture. And you can also use it the other way if you want. So you can have what we call debossed, where it's sunk in instead of sticking out. With the brick, I usually like it to be this way. So that's the way we'll use this. But you've got options, is what I'm saying. I'm going to go ahead and attach this, and then I'll put my Wink of Stella on, because why not? Advance that a little bit. So I'm just using our Stampin' Seal. It's a really good, strong adhesive. Make sure I'm putting this on the right side. I am actually pretty excited. Tomorrow I have the day off of my regular day job. And I will be making up swap cards because I'm going to our onstage event this weekend, which is basically our Stampin' Convention. Very excited about it. Okay, so we're going to take our Wink of Stella and we're just going to color in some of these bricks so they have a little shimmery appearance. Love that. So yeah, swap cards is when so we it's like trading cards basically. So I'm going to make 20 of the same card to bring with, and then I will trade those with 20 different people for their cards. So I'll come home with like 20 different ideas to share with my my class people or Facebook followers all over like that. I'm very much looking forward to this. This is our first in-person event since COVID hit, so I'm so excited to be in a room with thousands of stampers again. And typically the Midwest event is the biggest event we have. Now, I think there may be one in Minnesota as well. We're going to Indianapolis. So we'll see which one's bigger. I'm pretty excited about it, I'll tell you. Okay. So let's go ahead and attach our Santa. So you'll notice when I put the Wink of Stella on, I stayed away from the area where the Santa is going to cover because obviously that'll all be covered up. So why waste my Wink of Stella, right? And then we'll put some dimensionals. Usually when I have a circle, I feel like, unless it's a huge circle, 3 dimensionals is usually good. Just a little triangle of them. Pop that up there. Okay, now it's time for our fun bow. Okay. So I think I'm actually going to take this ribbon off of the spool because it's the end of it anyway. So what's the diff, right? Normally I leave my ribbon on the spool so I don't waste any. But because this is going to be the last bow I get out of this anyway. Okay, so with your fork, now I am right-handed, so you may have to kind of opposite things if you're left-handed. I'm not sure. Maybe you can do it right-handed. But I am right-handed, so I tend to hold the fork in my left hand. I'll drape that ribbon over from right to left, and you'll bring it around underneath, and you'll go over the top of that one. And then you'll put it in the middle tine, but underneath all of that. Oops. It's easier to do when I'm not trying to explain and show slowly. So I went over this, and then I went under both of them to go through the middle of the tine. I'm just going to pull this so they're pretty even. Okay. And now I'm going to take that bottom one. You're going to hold this one. I'm going to take that bottom one and bring it up and around. Flip it over and just tie a knot. This has become one of my new favorite things. In fact, I'm tying a fork bow out of linen thread for my swap cards because it's so easy and they're all uniform then. And like I have showed you guys before, you can pull on the tails, you can pull on the bows. It's not going anywhere because it's literally tied in a knot that way. So that is the size bow you're going to get. So whatever the width of your fork is, that's going to be from one side of the loop to the other side of the other loop. So the bigger the fork, the bigger the bow. The smaller the fork, the smaller the bow. So it's a very easy way of figuring that out. Now, I think that Russ did this with a glue dot, but you know what? I think I'm going to tie this on because I've got tails, so I can just do a little knot around here, I think. We'll see. It doesn't look good. I'll just undo it. So we'll just tie it kind of lightly. I think that works just fine. And then I know it's going to stay on there. I don't have to worry about glue dots or liquid glue or anything else. So, and I'm also going to move this up just a little bit because I kind of want it to be attached to that circle. That's just me. And I think we'll pop this on with some dimensionals as well. So just a couple. Whoops. That one hitched a ride on my fingernail. So there we go. All right. So I'm going to tuck this up a little bit here at that angle. I like it. All right, I am going to use my new trick of my cross-lock tweezers so I don't cut my fingers. That way I can get that nice angled little tail on my bow. There we go. All right, let me show you the two of them together. So just a slight variation there, just in the placement of the tag and the way I tied the bow a little bit. And there you go. Pretty easy card. And all with stamps that came in my kit. So that was awesome. I added, obviously, some other supplies to that. And I did promise you another card using this same set. So this was one that I kind of saw a similar idea online the other day, and I loved it. So I took some red and green, but some very bright red and green. And then I took our masking paper. You could also do this with a Post-it note, and I just masked off this diagonal line right here. And I stamped all the snowflakes and the stars right down, pulled it off, and then I had this empty spot here to stamp my Mary. I did stamp my Christmas on another piece and just cut it out so I could layer it over. And then I fussy cut my Santa face so I could pop him up on dimensionals next to it. But super, super cute, I thought. Absolutely love that Santa. I'll be making more cards, I'm sure, with those reindeer flying with the sleigh. That is a super fun stamp as well. Let me tell you about the next kit that's coming up is our From the North Pole kit. And you have until the 10th of the month, which is Thursday, so just a few days left, to make sure you're subscribed to Paper Pumpkin. And you subscribe at the link in the comments. It is the Nan Paper Pumpkin one there. You need to subscribe by the 10th of whatever month it is, and then you'll get that month's kit. And if you decided to become a subscriber and say you're going to be on vacation one month, or whatever it is, you want to skip a month, you can absolutely skip a month at any time. You can cancel anytime. You can sign back up anytime. Everything just needs to be done by the 10th of the month, and it'll affect that month's kit. Okay, so this Thursday, you've got to till then to sign up for this fun North Pole kit, and that is going to be a bunch of these sparkly gift tags. So just in time for gift giving season, and you got a sneak peek of one of the stamps that are in the set here with this express delivery North Pole. That is too cute. I absolutely love it. So they will do some fun theme kind of things all year. Usually October and November are Christmas oriented. September is Halloween oriented. I did some spooky treat boxes for my coworkers from the September kit. So usually like April, they'll kind of just do some Mother's Day, but they throw in other things with those. So you can use that for other occasions as well. So I'll be showing all of those over on my Facebook page this week, so you can see some different things that are made with the Paper Pumpkin stamps. And as always, everything you see here can be purchased in my shop, which is also linked below. And as far as the Paper Pumpkin kits go, if they have leftovers, like after like the 20th of the month, they'll put them in the shop, but you can only buy them if you're a current Paper Pumpkin subscriber. So if you got your kit and they have some left and you decided, oh my gosh, my sister would love this, or my aunt would love this, whatever, then you can, there we are, you can go ahead and purchase an additional kit if there's some left. If they don't have full kits left, a lot of times they might have refills, which will come with all of the paper products, just not the ink and the stamp set. So if you already got your kit and you thought, oh, I love those cards so much, I want to make, 9 more of them, you could purchase the refill kit, which I do believe there's a refill kit for the one I showed you tonight. So, but all of the past ones too. So anything that they still have inventory of will be for sale on the site if you are a current subscriber to Paper Pumpkin. So it's another little perk of being on that subscribers list. Absolutely love it. Okay, I think that's all I've got for you tonight. Hopefully you've picked up a new tip or a technique or combination or a layout or anything from what I've done tonight. And if you don't already, I'd love if you hit the subscribe button and also share with your friends so they can learn a new thing too. So until next Monday, I will be back then right here at 7 p.m. And until then, I'm still Nan Gerlitz. Happy stamping.